You know that feeling? The one where you see someone in a crowd just for a second and somehow, your heart pauses. I kept seeing her. Not on purpose. Not at the same place. But always when I wasn't ready. Once, she was across the subway platform, reading Norwegian Wood with her headphones in. Another time, she walked past me at a crosswalk, humming to herself, wearing a navy blue coat that looked far too soft for this city. Every time I saw her, I looked back. Every time I looked back, she was already gone. I told myself it was nothing. A passing face. A pattern-seeking brain, romanticizing chance. Until I saw her again. This time in line at a 24-hour diner, holding the same book, now worn and weathered. She was ahead of me. She ordered pancakes. I ordered coffee, but my voice cracked halfway through. She turned around, smiled. And that smile, God. She said, "You look tired." I laughed. You always say that to strangers. She tilted her head. Only to ones who look like they haven't slept since 2009. We ended up sitting together. She was funny. Sharp, the kind of tired that comes from thinking too much and sleeping too little. She tapped her fork against the plate when she talked, like her thoughts were trying to escape faster than words could catch them. Her name was Clara. She said it casually, like it wasn't something that would echo in my brain for years. We talked about stupid things, old songs, coffee that tastes like burnt memories, whether it was better to leave quietly or loudly when walking away from someone you love. She didn't give me her number, just said, "If we're meant to talk again, we will." Then she walked out into the early morning haze, and I didn't see her again for 4 months. The city played tricks on me after that night. She was everywhere but, only just, I saw someone with her walk on the escalator at the library. Same coat, same gait. But when I rushed up, it wasn't her. Another time, I heard someone laugh like she'd in a bookstore cafe off 9th Avenue. I turned too quickly, bumped into a shelf, and nearly knocked over a tower of poetry and thought. The girl turned around. She smiled politely. Not Clara. And still, I kept looking. I started walking more. No headphones, no distractions, just me and the sound of my own footsteps echoing through early mornings and quiet alleys, hoping the city would give her back to me. Weeks passed. Then months, then came to 17 a.m. again. That's when it always hit me hardest. The time of day where everyone you know is either asleep or somewhere they shouldn't be. The hour when coffee is either salvation or surrender. When silence feels too loud and even your memories seem to breathe. It was raining that night. I had just gotten off the late shift. My clothes smelled like old espresso and cardboard boxers, and my hands were ink-stained from receipt paper. I ducked into a corner shop to avoid the rain, and there she was, Clara. Not across a platform, not in passing, right there. She was holding a box of cereal, strawberry, something. She looked up, eyes wide, then soft. "You again," she said. "You again," I echoed. Neither of us moved for a moment. Then she stepped forward, slowly, like approaching a skittish bird. "Did you ever sleep?" "Only during lunch breaks." She laughed. "That's unhealthy. You disappeared." I said goodbye. "You said, if we're meant to talk again, we will." "That's not goodbye." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "I didn't think we would." Well, we did. The rain was still tapping against the window. The lights inside flickered faintly, as if unsure whether to fully shine or dim into background noise. She handed me the cereal. "Carry this for me." I took it. That's how we walked out. Me holding a box of cereal like it was sacred. Her walking beside me, silent for a long time. At the corner, she said, I moved apartments. Got rid of my phone for a while. It was too loud. Everything was too loud. Even me. No, she said. You were the quiet part. I liked the quiet part. We stood at the intersection under a blinking yellow streetlight. And I asked her, "Do you want pancakes again?" She nodded. "Only if you promise not to vanish this time." "I promise." "Then yeah," she said. "I could use something sweet." And we walked together at 2:17 a.m. in a city that finally stopped playing hit. We walked without speaking for a while. The rain had slowed to a whisper, brushing rooftops and puddles like a lullaby. The streets were nearly empty, save for the occasional cab or blinking neon sign. The diner sat quietly on the corner, just like before. The same chipped blue door. The same flickering open sign. Like nothing had changed. But everything had. We sat in the booth by the window, just like last time. A waitress with tired eyes and too much eyeliner handed us menus without looking up. Clara smiled at me across the table like it was some kind of secret. "I almost didn't recognize you," she said. "Because I'm older? Or because I'm tired?" She shook her head. "Because you looked like you finally stopped waiting." I didn't know how to respond to that. We ordered pancakes and coffee. I asked her if she still hummed to herself when crossing streets. She asked if I still wrote song lyrics on napkins and left them in my coat pocket until they turned into mush in the wash. We laughed. A lot. The kind of laughter that feels like home, like warmth, like finally being able to exhale. At one point she looked down at her coffee, her fingers circling the rim of the mug. "I used to see you everywhere," she said. "Before we met." I didn't say anything. I didn't want to believe I noticed. "Why?" "Because noticing means you care. And caring is terrifying." I nodded. There were so many things I could have said. But instead, I reached into my jacket pocket and pulled out a crumpled napkin. Words barely legible, ink smeared. I slid it across the table. She read it. It said, "If I see her again, even once, I won't let it be an almost." Her eyes soft. She folded the napkin carefully, like it was fragile, like it mattered. Then she reached across the table and took my hand. "You didn't almost," she whispered. "You did." And just like that, the space between us disappeared. It wasn't dramatic. No swelling music, no grand declarations, just warmth and clarity. And the quiet, beautiful certainty that sometimes really life gives you a second chance. Not to repeat the past, but to finally live the version where you stay. Where you stop walking away. Where you meet at 2:17 a.m. and stay for breakfast. After we paid, she turned to me before we stepped outside. "I still don't believe in fate," she said. "That's okay," I told her. "I believe enough for both of us." And we walked into the early morning air, the city glowing around us. Still damp, still soft, still full of possibilities. Not all love stories start with fireworks. Some begin with a second glance, a missed train, a name spoken once at a diner. And if you're lucky, you get the moment when almost becomes absolutely.